Welcome to another A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom. We are currently right now at Hourglass Brewing in Longwood.
We are.
For the Sapo tournament. So if you want to come by, if you're listening to this while you're driving around.
Just turn around and head straight there.
Yeah.
I would love to see you. I'm playing Sapo. I'm screaming. There's handcrafted beers swirling around me. It's a lot of fun, so come on by.
And next week, the Arnold Palmer Invitational is happening. That's March 7th through the 10th. And we're going to be out there on Thursday. You can get your tickets in the White Claw fan deck at a discounted rate through tomanddan.com.
Yes.
Just click on the link.
They're the best tickets, and you can only get them at our link, tomanddan.com.
So we have a guest in studio, and he does something interesting that I'm curious about because it involves hunting, fishing,
Seems very
conservation,
true Florida.
also survival skills, which I've never had. If you got the a little race car, you're just driving down the street of Baldwin.
I was gonna wonder if you were gonna ignore the race car driving down Baldwin, or if you were gonna point it out. And I'm gonna point it out, and I'm just gonna tell you something to both of you guys here. I am pro that. Because it makes me feel like that guy doesn't get a lot of fun in his life. And that little stretch in front of our studio was really the only thing keeping him from punching a hole in the drywall at his house, right? I think it's saving his family.
So Adam Steele is here.
Hey!
How you doing, Adam?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks
We
for having me.
appreciate you taking the time to teach us a little something today.
Appreciate being here. Always a pleasure to teach people and see that light
Okay,
come on.
so let's talk about Backcountry Hunters and Anglers.org, which is your website. So how'd you get started, and when did you figure there was a market for people to learn this stuff?
Well, I was raised in and out of hunting when I was young, and then kind of got away from it for a long time. And as an adult and a cook and appreciating really good food, like I really just want to eat.
Yeah.
I started looking at where the best ingredients are, and they're local and they're wild.
Okay.
So I fell in with BHA, which is a national organization. There's chapters in a lot of states. We actually started the Florida chapter 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. And our main goal is public land access. We want to get people, we all own the land as taxpayers. It's all public land. We all have recreational needs. Like that guy needed to recreate in his race car in the 100 yards out in front of your studio.
Excellent example.
We all need to have a good time. And the outdoors,
that guy was hunting fun.
Correct. Correct. The outdoors have been so rewarding in my life that I want to be able to share that experience with others.
All right. Yeah, now I love the outdoors, although...
That's not what you told me.
My wife and my sons, see, my wife indoctrinated our sons into being vegetarian.
Bed
or
life.
at least
It's bed life. They like the bed.
One of them. Tommy doesn't care. He's a meat eater like I am.
He knows his way around a hot dog. He loves it.
But anyway, back to the outdoors. I love showing my sons the outdoors. And when you go in, like, hunting in Florida, my dad hunted in the Everglades, and what I know that he hunted was all, like, either deer or hog. And that was the only those are two primary mammals that are hunted in Florida.
I would agree with that, since alligators really aren't a mammal. Reptile. We have a lot of waterfowl hunting, migratory birds, dove. I hunt a lot of snipe, which people may think do not exist. They are, I assure you, a real bird.
I did not know
Hold
that.
on, I was always...
Oh, my God. Are you just a crazy person? Because that would be really cool. If you were just a crazy guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make...
It depends on your definition of crazy.
Sure.
I
Me
think
too.
I'm
I'm crazy, too.
I think you guys are pretty
Oh,
normal.
we're definitely crazy. I don't know. My wife would disagree with you. My wife would say I'm very crazy.
And you're definitely armed right now, right?
Yeah, always.
I can
You
neither
never
confirm nor deny.
I'm not going to tell you about that.
You got a tiny gun
His
tucked in your butt ass.
His whole left leg is a shotgun. He walked in with a limp.
Yeah, we let an armed crazy person.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it.
I've never felt more at home.
I feel alive
I'm
right
joking.
now.
So snipe is real?
Snipe are real birds. They're real migratory birds.
What does it look like?
It looks invisible.
Yeah.
Crazy person. He's crazy.
Pull your gun out and shoot it in the air.
Oh, wait, no, there are people upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
As they flush, you know, they're super fast. Imagine smaller than a dove.
Okay.
Flying a little. Imagine trying to hit like a bat or a hummingbird.
Now, Daniel, this may be embarrassing, but can you type into Google "our sniper reel"?
I can. Yeah.
It's not that I don't trust you.
Yeah, I gotta let me close out my adult cinema for a second.
Because
Wilson's snipe.
because I remember like hearing stories of like people saying like we're hunting snipe on like Boy Scout adventures, and it's all just a facade.
It's how you sent the Boy Scouts in to get murdered. You send them out snipe hunting, and then they just walk in circles.
Yeah, it's like they're hunting for something that doesn't exist, a fictional animal.
Snipe are 100% real.
All right, Adam's right.
Yeah. Who would have guessed that the conservationist wildlife man was 100% correct?
So, and you shoot them with a bird shot, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And a lot of it's just flushing them out of the bushes, right? Like quail and things like that.
Yeah, they like wet areas. They eat a lot of worms and aquatic invertebrates, so they're going to be in like wet, marshy, receding water lines. So along the St. Johns River.
Okay.
You can use a dog to point and retrieve.
Yeah.
A lot, so.
Because once you shoot them out of the sky,
that's impressive.
That's the hard part, is finding them.
Yeah. You know what? It seems like a lot of the hunters I know have settled into some sort of bird hunting because it seems like the most fun.
From a kayak. Right?
No, just like duck hunting, like my Crystal's family duck hunts.
Why
you
is
get
it?
to hang out with your dog. Dogs are man's best friend. You're taking your dog for a walk, and you get to bring a shotgun along.
Plus the
killing
birds,
stuff with their best friend.
Well, the birds are flying through the sky, and you're shooting, and it's more fun to me than like the deer. I feel like the deer just sit there and they're nervous and they're eating and they're constantly looking around, but they're like,
what if I used a trebuchet to launch a deer through the air?
Then you shot it in the air.
Yeah, that's the best of both worlds.
Anyway, so
no one's ever done that.
It just seems bird hunting is, as far as shooting goes, it's like shooting clay. That's why
right. It's hard.
It's a sport,
and it requires a skill.
Yeah.
Like so when you're teaching people this sort of thing, what's the number one thing, or where do you start? What's the first thing you start with when it comes to being like
safety first?
Okay.
I mean,
perfect. We heard this yesterday. We did a welding show. We went out and did some welding, and that was the first thing we heard there. We're getting a little tired of hearing that, to tell you the truth. But I think I can speak for you when I say that, right? Like,
we can put safety third if you guys want.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
obviously, with handguns and fire and knives and that sort of stuff, you want to be safe. So you start with safety, and what do you hope to, when people leave, is it just to get that spark, like you said, ignited, or are there some skills that you like to pass on because these are the type of things that are practical and could save your life?
Absolutely. There are a lot of real life skills that you can learn by being in difficult situations in the woods, facing adversity, windy, cold conditions, wet. It teaches you a lot about who you are and about life. And if you can translate that into everyday aspects, it just makes you a whole person and a stronger person. Not to mention being able to tie knots and use practical tools. It's just good skills to have.
And so beyond like hunting and fishing, is there any survival skills? Like, for instance,
I can use this bracelet I'm wearing right here. It's a paracord.
Well,
I can use it to kill a man.
Well, let's
you know that?
Let's talk.
I made that up. I'm not wearing one, but I've always wanted to be one of those people that was wearing a paracord that you bought at like 7-Eleven, and you hold up your arm and you're like, you see this paracord? If I take this off and use my knife to unravel it, now I won't have a bracelet anymore, but I will have a paracord.
But then you're like, why not just use your knife?
No. That's too easy. That's too easy. I want a challenge.
Sorry.
I'm an environmental challengeman.
So, Adam, like, because I hear this a lot when people are like, oh, well, if the end of the world comes, I'll just go and hunt for my own.
I have a paracord bracelet. I'm fine.
And then people are like, I'll just go hunt for my own food or whatever. Like, or
I'm not. I'm going to get in one of the lines of the overlords and they'll feed me right into the machine.
And then I when the person says that, I'm
going to be looking at my family and seeing which one of them to smother first. You know what I mean?
I'm like, have you ever hunted before? Because if you haven't,
I've been one time. Have you hunted?
No,
I've been
haven't.
one time.
I've fished a
One
lot,
time.
but I never. My dad.
I know you fish more than me. Fishing was not a Dennis thing. I went one time with my dad and grandpa, and it was a mess.
But what I'm saying is that if you don't know how to, you're never gonna kill anything.
It's a pretty steep
it's
learning
hard.
curve,
Yeah.
especially in Florida. I mean, if you can kill a deer with a bow and arrow in Florida, you can probably do it anywhere. It's tough. It's not easy.
Oh, I mean, I was talking about with a gun.
Yeah,
Even killing a deer with a
gun's
gun with a
hard.
scope
It's tough.
on,
It's
it's
tough.
insanely tough. There's people that go hunting for years without getting a buck or making their first kill or whatever because it's difficult. Plus, there's less deer out there. It's 2024. I don't know. Let me ask you.
A lot of deer. Well, most deer are working from home now. They're not out there. Because COVID changed the world.
It really did.
Because you know what I learned? Crystal, she went to Blue Springs with Max on his vacation.
Max takes a vacation. He's 8 years old. Matt.
His field trip.
He's like, I gotta get out of here. This place is stressing me out.
So Crystal was talking about, like, I assumed that there were way more manatees in Blue Springs, like in the 50s and in the 20s or 30s or whatever. There are way less.
Cigarettes killed so many
like,
of them.
there are more manatees now than there ever has been in recorded history.
Well, then we should be allowed to jump on top of them and ride them around a little bit.
As far as in Blue Springs, and
you ever eaten manatee?
No.
Yeah, it's been protected for a long enough time, but
isn't gonna be. When is the one day where we go unprotected manatee? Let's raw dog those.
There's a
manatees.
lot now.
I guess maybe once people realize what carrying capacity means, and that if there's more manatee in Blue Springs than ever before, at some point they're gonna run out of space and run out of resources.
Yeah, we gotta even all this out, man.
And then that's why there's conservation and hunting's involved in that to lower the population that actually helps the species as a whole. It's just hard to see it because
let's talk conservation.
a lot of people just see the killing part of it,
Yeah.
and then they don't see but by killing this amount of animal, it actually keeps the other animals alive and the ecosystem balanced because this animal could do damage to the rest of the animals.
Yeah.
Because
what's the biggest problem we have right now in Florida, conservation-wise, with animals? You think, in your opinion?
That's a tough one.
Probably
habitat loss, degradation, habitat loss.
Us, right?
Yeah,
taking land
Yep.
and just ruining it for animals.
So, I remembered my original question. So, based on the manatee fact that Crystal heard, and I was like, that's pretty interesting. I started thinking because there's a lot more conservation with even the deer and the deer population, because I know it was low for a while. They've been trying to get them back. They've been trying to. Most deer are killed by roadside accidents, I believe. It's like that kills way more deer than anything else.
Can I
It's
ask you
just
a
getting hit by
question?
cars.
When did you start adding the I believe? That's new.
I'm a new man.
He's never done. You normally end with most deer get killed by auto accident, and then you freeze. You never say I believe. That's new. I
looked over at Adam
That's
so he
new.
can nod his head in confirmation that I'm correct.
I've never heard that before. I don't think you've ever said that in your life.
But they've been trying to build animal bridges and stuff, and I'm wondering if that has brought the deer population back to a point where it's way more now than it was
deer?
before.
We're doing good in Florida with deer. In the 20s, there was what's called the Lacey Act. It was to end market hunting, to end people being able to go out and kill whatever they wanted, sell it to other people. After that, populations were low, and sportsmen realized they need to do something. So they enacted legislation. They put an excise tax on sporting equipment, the Pittman-Robertson and the Dingell-Johnson Acts. So we taxed ourselves.
Hold on, his name is Dingell Johnson.
Two people, Dingell Johnson.
Dingell Johnson. Yeah, the old
I knew you
Dingell
guys would
Johnson
love
act.
being able to say that one on the radio.
Holy smokes, Dingell Johnson.
I'm Dingell Johnson.
His first name was
I'm saving the
Dingle,
deer.
and his last name was
No, two different people.
Oh, okay.
Two different people.
Dingell
Last
and
names.
Johnson.
Dingell and Johnson.
Dingell and Johnson.
A mediocre time with Dingell and Johnson. It sounds great.
So they were legislative acts started and encouraged by sportsmen to tax themselves to protect the resource.
All right.
Wow,
and
that's
that's
crazy.
when the population started to increase, and it's through the effort of habitat improvement, conservation, money from sportsmen, when we buy a license, when we buy any hook or bullet or any equipment, that excise tax goes back into conservation, whether it be law enforcement, habitat improvement. That's what that money's for. So we set aside that 100 years ago, and we can see the results now. That's that thing you try to think for a generation beyond yours. So conservation is different than preservation. Conservation is a consumptive use of a resource.
All right.
And we always want to have that consumptive use for multiple generations. So it's managed. So we're paying into a system to be able to account for part of that animal's mortality rate. So some other factors are vehicle strikes, starvation. Like, would you rather see an animal get hit by a car or starve? Or would you rather see a legal, ethical hunter harvest it, bring it home to his family, and turn it into good food?
Yeah, no.
Sure,
The logic behind it is
makes
sound.
sense, yeah.
The problem is the emotion of my wife.
That's it.
My wife sees you just killing an innocent
And
deer.
that's tough. It is really tough to argue with emotion.
Yeah.
Tom,
Even if you have facts.
Wait, are you telling me this, Adam? I've lived this my entire life.
Tom tells me this all the time. He's like,
my business partner, my wife.
Stop crying. And I'm like, I can't stop crying.
I'm just telling you, it's just about the numbers. You have to die.
I tell him, I can't stop crying.
That's
I
it.
said,
I
I'm
mean,
just so happy.
They have to die. That is.
That's
Nothing
what
can be done. That's what I
reality.
scream. Nothing can be done.
Yeah, they have to die.
It's just how we do it and what we use it for.
So Adam, I get all my survivalist knowledge through
TV.
the TV and the show Alone, which I'm a big fan of.
He loves a lot of Alone.
And Alone has taught me a couple things. One
Do you know how to process an animal?
is, well, yes, it taught me that because it basically just rip the skin off, get the guts out.
I think one of our BHA members actually won Alone a couple years ago.
No, really?
Whoa.
Which one was he?
I forget his name, but if you look him up, he won a couple seasons ago. He was one of our keynote speakers at our annual rendezvous last year.
He doesn't know. The guy wasn't memorable.
Was it the Mexican guy that could drink any sort of water,
Oh,
dirty
my
water?
God, he's a superpower. They called him El Drinko. He's a superhero.
He won just because he didn't have to boil his water because he
exactly.
spent like years drinking dirty water and his body
I
acclimated
know,
to
waiting
it.
for this. He didn't say that.
So he didn't have to
say that.
expend the energy. So he just basically went into starvation and then was drinking lake water and then beat everybody else through that, which wasn't that fun.
I don't think that's fair. Yeah.
But I was like, this guy's smart. He came in to win the damn million. Anyway, so back to survivalists. So one, it also taught me that surviving out in the woods with nothing but like a couple, like even if you have a fishing rod and a bow and arrow, it is tough to survive, like nearly impossible.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can count the number of times I caught a fish, like, on both my hands.
These are professional survivalists, and 99% of them quit.
Yeah.
You know, like they can't do it. What, like, you know a lot about hunting, fishing, and surviving out in the woods. If I were to put you, let's just say, on the St. Johns River, because you know that well, and I know it as well too.
Oh, what, we dropped one of these things? We dropped a human in the middle of a...
How long could you live out there in the woods? Like, you know, there's a lot of areas that are just like conservation open.
You just walk over to somebody's boat.
I give you a tarp, bow and arrow.
A knife?
Yeah, knife, an axe for wood,
Sure.
you know, the basics.
Yeah. An old Playboy magazine.
What do you think, Adam? You think you could
It's at that point, it's more of a mental game. If you have fresh water to drink, the St. Johns River's got enough to eat out there. It's going to be a mental game. How long do I want to deal with the conditions?
Okay, so then it's just, and because
I like air conditioning a lot.
Could you eat gross, though? Could you, like, take...
If I told you what I've had in the past week to eat, would you believe me?
Yeah, I don't think you're a liar or anything. Yeah, but, like...
Livers, gizzards, tongue, cheek, beef stomach.
Are you cooking this stuff, or are you just, like,
No, I
eating it?
actually went on a trip. We were at the state capitol last week.
Sure.
Wednesday for...
Did you storm it?
conservation
I
of-
did. I was trying. I missed that one. I was banging on the door. Come on.
So, yeah, we have...
leave the dude who remember.
Right in the office.
We have an amendment on the Florida Constitution this year, the right to hunt and fish. So it's Amendment 2. And we were at the Capitol building
Nice.
for a dinner last week.
Someone's thinking about
all
taking
the
that away,
representatives.
the right to hunt the fish?
Not taking it away.
Oh.
How they take that away is they chip away at methods. Death by 1,000 cuts.
Oh yeah.
So
the
they
boat
start
cops.
they start telling you how you can and can't do it.
Right.
So what
Oh,
this
yeah.
will do, there's 20-something states that already have it in their constitution. This just guarantees us that there will be our right to go out onto our land and gather our food. Right to hunt and fish.
Okay, I got you.
Let's talk about the FWC because.
Oh, so you're going to go on one of your family diatribes? His family comes with a long line of boat cop haters. I mean, hate.
It's like the Starks and the Greyjoys.
It's worse. I'd say it's worse. It is.
Oh.
Yeah,
I watch a lot of Game of Thrones.
that was
Anyway,
pretty good.
but so I have been
Open
told.
up a box and there's a man's member inside.
And I have a long line of Florida real men in my family, and all my life I've heard that the FWC has more power than the police. And then they're like, FWC will take your boat. Police can't do that. And they tell me, like, oh, watch out, FWC.
Yeah.
They'll kill you.
Yeah. They're snakes. Yeah.
They'll kill
Liars
you,
and
throw you
cheats,
in the swamp.
Yeah.
They'll do whatever they want.
They're satanic. It's horrible. Yeah.
And I'm like, they do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, whatever
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want. They'll take all your boat, all your money, everything. So what's up with that?
They can. They are state law enforcement. They don't need a warrant to search your vehicle or your boat.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So, and if you're involved in a wildlife crime, they can take everything you used to commit that crime.
Wait a minute, so that
your
day-
truck, your trailer, your boat.
So if that day on the river when we got stopped, had the guy said, "I'm going to search the boat," we couldn't have said anything about it.
Well, only if we had some like undersized crappie in there, like in the
but we
had a turtles, a couple of turtles.
No,
oh,
we
they're
had
mad about turtles.
marijuana and a handgun.
They don't care about that. It's the
Okay.
turtles.
All right.
If we had a couple soft shell turtles in there, they'll take my boat.
right up the
then
river.
I'll go to jail for a
Yeah,
long time.
forever. Never see your kids again.
For turtles.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to like the hunting and fishing skills side of it. You teach people how to like dress, like field dress animals and things like that. Rabbit, deer.
All of it.
What's
Okay.
the hardest one? What's the hardest
Armadillo.
animal?
You're not supposed to eat armadillo, right?
Gators are pretty tough. They have thick skin. They're awkward shaped and sized, so they can be difficult to move around.
Does it help to get fully naked when you're processing an animal?
I typically wear a swimsuit when I'm doing alligators.
I was
just
wondering.
because it's
I know
wet.
you're laughing, but I was being serious. Like,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna wear like what I have on. Like, I can't see myself doing this. So I was thinking, like, much like the owner of Jimmy John's.
Try to stay pretty clean.
And
If-
I
if
know
I'm
it's a
doing
fake
slaughter-
photo, but I don't care because fake photos don't matter anymore. But I want to lay
Yeah.
on a dead animal naked and get a couple photos.
We should come up with a shirt that says "I believe memes." That's it. So what are some other skills that you teach in like the course, and how long is it? Like, how do people sign up and all that?
So this is just a real basic introductory. You can sign up online.
Nice.
It's from 2 to 6 p.m. We're going to have a bunch of different speakers coming in, sharing their story, how they got involved in the outdoors. I'm going to be cooking a whole bunch of different kinds of food,
Awesome.
all different wild game people can taste.
What's your favorite wild game? Because like,
to eat or to hunt?
great question. Both. Let's go. Both.
It's to hunt, snipe, and turkey.
Okay.
It's turkey season. I just guided a youth hunt this last weekend down at the Panther Refuge, actually.
Oh wow.
National Wildlife Refuge. Incredible time.
I saw a bunch of turkey at Fort Wilderness in Disney World.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fort
Disney
Wilderness has got
turkeys
some
are-
stud bucks out
And
there, too.
they just walk through the wander around it, and then I'm like,
Turkeys are weird, dude.
I'm
Yeah,
like-
they're all audio animatronic, so there's a special time of day they release them.
but when they were just walking by my tent, I was like, man, it'd be easy to kill this thing.
Yeah, just grab it. Just reach out and grab the thing.
Turkeys are
What tastes the best, in your opinion?
sniper delicious.
Is there a gamey taste to it, like any of all wild animals? They all
Define gamey. I mean, what it is to me is grocery store food doesn't have a taste.
Right.
It's so bland that we become accustomed to eating.
He's right. Like
Yeah.
when I've had like higher class things, you taste like the actual flavor of the meat.
Yeah, you want that.
And you like even when we were getting like a straight butcher,
yeah, man.
you know, from
just
more
off
organic.
a farm when we get it from the farm.
Yeah, like
it's
the
way different.
fat content of even a cow or a pig, like that's non-factory, is so much that it's almost shocking.
It's night and day.
Like you think something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like there's so much
the
fat.
color was so bright. You were like,
it's all that carotene in the feed. They're actually eating grass, which has carotene in it, so their fat turns yellow.
Yeah.
You know?
Then
no way. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you realize
when you
how
explain
much
it like
healthy.
that makes a ton of sense. Yeah. It's just whatever.
But people aren't accustomed to seeing that, so they
Correct.
see yellow and fat, and you get your people that are like, oh, that's horrible, because all they've known is grain fed.
Yeah. And that's what you want. Like, and you watch Alone, and it's like fat is the thing that's hard to find in the wild.
Oh yeah, that's your
sustainability right there, man. That'll keep you going.
Yeah.
Salt and fat.
So, Adam, let's end with my end of the world plan that I'll
great.
tell everybody on the radio. So this is going to ruin it for myself, but I'll let everybody know what it is.
End of the world plan.
So I thought about this a lot. So, all hell breaks loose, and it's a Walking Dead scenario.
Yeah, and you didn't charge your phone, so you don't know what to do.
No, I know what to do.
Oh. No, you didn't know. Like, you didn't wake up.
I know where unlimited food and water is, and it's back to Blue Springs, and I'm taking the Thursby house. I need a lot of people with guns, like Adam, and I know some other
this
medium.
idea from a Herschel in Walking Dead.
No, but you have.
You're just gonna be an old man in a house with your daughter.
Well, there's unlimited spring water, right?
Yeah.
There's that,
and we can eat those fat manatees.
the manatees.
Oh my God, they're so delicious.
Although they don't have much fat.
No, but it's all meat.
Yeah, that is all meat.
And then they have big bones, and we can use their bones as tools.
Yeah, they don't run.
That's
They're
it.
the nature's cowards. And then I'm sure there's some deer. There's some deer, some snake, and some other rabbit. Lots of rabbit.
For whatever reason, I was going through a scenario where I would kill the manatees and then reanimate their bodies to trick the other manatees but I realized there were no zombies in my scenario, and I didn't need to do that.
Yeah, and as long as we have enough guns, then with the manatees and water, they'll live out the rest of our days.
Just get a giant cast net.
Exactly.
Heavy-duty
Oh,
cast net.
yeah. Oh, no, you can stab them, man. They won't even
you
run.
can stab them with a pencil 1,000 times. They don't care.
I hear they really like lettuce.
They do. Yeah, they'll come right up to it.
How do you like my plan, Adam? Pretty good, right?
I would diversify a little bit, so you're not hitting one resource so hard.
Okay.
Okay, all
So
right.
have a couple options.
We don't like Plan Bs.
Yeah. Because I would immediately get there and kill every manatee I could.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And have feasts like you're going to be wasting the meat.
It'd be rotting.
And you gotta assume
kill
that
the
someone
babies
might
first.
already have that plan as well, so you might have some competition.
Kill the babies first. They're easier. That's a pro tip.
Well, that's where the guns come in.
That's a low-hanging
That's the
fruit.
guns.
And then we use the guns to kill them, so we get rid of all the ammunition.
Yeah, no, I have no training, so I'm a horrible shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just emptying. You're like, it's way overkill. It's not one through the brain. It's really, you're literally in their bodies full of bullets.
Yeah. They'll come and get me.
right.
One more time, Adam, where can people find your website so people can sign up for something like this?
We are Backcountry Hunters and Anglers.org. We have a Florida chapter.
Nice.
We have members all over the state. We're always doing small game hunts where new people can come out and learn how to small game hunt with an experienced mentor. I'm a certified archery instructor, so I teach archery classes. We actually got a grant from the state to get a bunch of targets and bows.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations on all the success.
Help people get out there. And again, it's about connecting with the outdoors. If you have that tangible connection like eating, you tend to want to protect it a little bit more. And that's ultimately what we all want. That's where the vegans and the vegetarians, we can all get together and hug a tree. Because I really am a tree-hugging hippie, but I like to eat wild food.
Yeah.
And there is that balance in there where we're all trying to accomplish the same goal, is to have that resource in perpetuity.
Yeah.
So we want to
forever.
protect it.
Yeah. You made a lot of friends in the chat room, man. They're digging you. So
Sweet.
I appreciate you
Hi,
coming
friends.
here and talking to everybody. That's really, really cool.
Just wait till I break out the snacks.
What snacks did you bring us, by the
So
way?
I brought some alligator boudin. I brought some venison pastrami.
All right.
I brought some homemade bacon. I got some venison salami.
What?
Okay. All right.
I got some copa.
What's that?
That's capicola. So it's the head and neck muscle
Okay.
on a pig. Kappa collar cola. So the Italians call it the gabagool.
Oh, gabagool!
Yeah.
I didn't know that was head to neck.
Yeah. So capo,
Yeah.
head,
Got
collar,
it. Yeah.
capicola.
Head of the family.
Gabagool. You say you eat it in the kitchen and have a panic attack.
Or you eat it as you're driving.
So and I got
a
some
murder.
venison mortadella, I think I brought too.
Right
Ah,
on,
well,
man.
thank you, dude. I
Awesome.
appreciate that.
that. Thanks for snacks.
All right, let's take a break. We'll eat some gabagool.
Yeah,
We'll be right back with more corporate time.
Awesome. I got a weird. This computer's got a weird. I gotta restart it. So
Okay.
It's got a weird, like, little delay thing going on. That was really good, man. Thank
Cool.
you for the segment. Great job.
Of course, anytime.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get people. Hopefully it's not
Yeah.
just if it is just a room of all my people standing around, we're still gonna have a good time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
we-
We do events like that too. It's like
Yeah, and
And it's all about spreading the
Just
word.
try to get the
slowly.
word out. Where's that go, Tom?
That's Thursday 1.
Thursday 1. Thank you.
yeah, we've done it. Portland, San Francisco, Atlanta, Minneapolis,
Oh, cool.
Manhattan, Oakland's next. So we're really trying to get into those urban areas and
Yeah, it seems like people want to have the knowledge to be able to do something like that because it's, how our human ancestors.
yeah, well that's the
did
thing.
it.
We've been hunting. We wouldn't be here without hunters. That's how we evolved. We learned to cook. We learned to heat meat. That's when our brain started changing. We evolved.
Okay.
Hundreds of thousands.
We're gonna drive cars.
Yeah, the civilization has been around. I totally get it.
Oh, right on, guys. I'm glad you guys liked him. Yeah, the presentation, the way he handled himself with the message was really good.
Or if you want me to break it out now, it's all labeled.
Okay,
We
cool.
keep it all.
Cool. I'm gonna take your.
This is the hot side. So you got Ian and pastrami.
Sam is in Charleston, I believe, for the. She, her and her husband, I guess, are going to. Her friend is opening a brewery, I believe. So I think they're gonna go up there to support their friend. And then, yeah, there you go. We got a couple more things to do today, and then I think that'll be about it for us.
Crackers for the boudin. Some mustard.
Oh wow, that looks really good.
I've seen so many people like that. It click when they eat, and they're like, "All right, that's why we need more deer running around." And that's why I need to pay into the system.
Yeah, eating some horrible Walmart meat, some factory animals, things like shit.
Alright.
This mustard. So a guy that's been listening to you guys forever made this.
Oh, really?
And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna tell me on the show. Like, I've loved those guys forever." So I figured,
Awesome.
you try some
Yeah.
mustard. It's really good. This is dattle peppers, like the native
Okay.
St. Augustine.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, thank you. Really, really appreciate you,
Hopefully,
your hospitality, man.
cross paths again. Maybe now that I know what you guys look like, if you're up in Stanford, I can track you down.
Find us and yell at us for sure.
I keep my boat at Boat Tree Marina right there, where right there where like Cabana Live is, where the whole Oasis.
All right, yeah. I got a buddy that lives like that neighborhood right there.
Yeah.
Bought me a boat there.
So I've been on the St. Johns River. I used to live in Deltona, so.
I'll leave you with one of each of these if you want to hang them up somewhere or can, or just. I can't use them after this weekend anyway, so. Gotta go change the tire, go back to Jackson.
Yeah. Well, thank you
Pleasure
so much,
meeting
man.
you. You guys have a good afternoon.
Thank you very
again.
much. See ya.
Oh, did he take off?
Yeah. No, right now. I just want to find it.
He's super nice.
Yeah.
That was good. Smells amazing. What'd you eat?
I'm not sure what that is. Maybe venison. When he said it,
Venison the venison?
Yeah, yeah.
I peed my pants. Don't look at my pants. That's why I couldn't come out. I went in there to do a quick pee, and then when I went in there, I peed my pants. So I had
Before or did it come out after?
it came out after, and then I had to wait in there, and I had to let him leave because I couldn't come out. I was like, I can't tell you goodbye.
All right.
We want to finish that up? Or?
Yeah, we'll do another 10 minutes.
All right. Here we go. You want to just talk about that, or do you want me to?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can talk about that. All right, here we go. I got something that I want to ask you. All right, here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So Adam just left. He left us some of that venison. I was eating there. It's good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It is weird how, like, when you get food or beef or chicken or anything that's like from the farm or farm to table or
hunted,
harvested by a hunter and given to you or something like that. I've never had it taste worse ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's different though, because
different.
like he said, it does taste that gaminess. Is funny because people are like too gamey, and it's like you've acclimated yourself to factory raised animal that gaminess means it's lived in the wild, which it should
I know.
want to, but it's like it's so
pretty
different.
much become a person that could just live off of powders. I'm a powder. I feel like I'm a powder. I'm a powder person.
That's a future human.
I don't need if I. He's like, that's a little gamey for me. You know what? I'll just stick to my water and my powders.
Yeah.
Every meal, I'll go and mix up a concoction. The craziest I'll get is a banana.
It's funny because, like, I really feel like the hunting education in, like, in all aspects, at least in the United States, is more in the fact that you see a lot less pushback from people, especially like Crystal realizes, like, as much as an animal lover she is, she realizes like a lot of conservation is done by hunters. And like they're the number one people pushing for the animal to have a more balanced and good life.
No different than skateboarders are the ones that pick up the most trash at the skate park. Like
they're protecting what they like.
Yeah. It makes sense to me.
They're not destroying the environment.
Like most of it's like I love nothing more than when obviously we both follow Qualified Captain, and that particular Instagram website, whatever you want to call it, accounts, is really pro water, pro safety, pro boat, and they find people on there all the time that litter, and then they get their number and they track them down and they get them in trouble. Like they protect the oceans and they protect the reefs and our docks that we have, and they're I like that. I kind of like that. Like don't ruin all this fun stuff we have, man. Especially in Florida, we have a lot of fun stuff, just naturally fun stuff all around us. And we do take it for granted. I feel like right here, I have a lake, a little lake. I can go and I can like walk out there and get into a kayak and just go around. Totally free. Nobody will bother me.
There are tons of places that you can go explore, wilderness area in Florida that
super fun.
That's around them, but no one ever does. Because it's just difficult.
We and also like we have raised the bar. We've raised the bar of fun so high that nature isn't as cool anymore.
Oh yeah.
And that's been going on for years.
Yeah. Every kid is looking at
nature is like nostalgia, right?
Yeah. We're all scrolling infinite, tiny, really entertaining videos, and then you're like looking at trees. You're like, not as good as my videos.
Like, what are you even doing? You want to do a couple of voicemail messages? We neglect these, and you guys can leave us voicemail messages every single day if you would like. Get our app. It's totally free. There's a button on there that says mediocre messages. You hit that, and you can leave us a message like this gentleman Your trainer's calling in again because you've been talking about your half marathon or half, what is it?
It's a
half
sprint
Ironman?
triathlon.
Sprint triathlon.
No, don't make it sound better.
It's a half Ironman.
No, it's a sprint triathlon, and in fact,
It's a Mr. Universe competition.
it's even smaller than a sprint triathlon because the swimming.
It's the SpongeBob Run-a-Palooza.
It's only a quarter mile in this one. So.
Okay, here. This is your coach.
Hey everyone, you're talking triathlon again, so I got to chime in with my triathlon time-saving tip of the day. Tom, wear a swim cap. I was anti-swim cap for like a full year, and then I realized that like when I pick my face up out of the water, it goes into my mouth when you're trying to breathe, and so you're just like choking on water the whole time, trying to spit it out. So put a swim cap on, tried it differently, and it actually stops you from like having all that water rush down your face when you.
Yeah, this guy's actually, and I listened to this, and I pre-listened to this one.
Okay.
Now, I wasn't going to play this unless I thought that this guy had some valuable information. I know you're anti-swim cap, but just hear me out. Just follow me here. I'm going to use your phrase.
Yeah.
I think you're a logical man. What he's saying is, what's one of the most defining parts of your face? Your pompadour, your business haircut, right? And that business haircut, when you're swimming, is holding on to water. And when you come out of the water, it's pushing water in your mouth. If you get the swim cap on, you're not going to get the pump water in your mouth.
See, this is the first time I've actually heard that it does something utility-wise.
It streamlines you, and it keeps the water from, like when I come out of the water, my hair comes straight down into, like, I got like a little bowl haircut, comes straight down over my eyes, and all that water rushes back into my face.
Yeah, but I thought it was like putting a spoiler on a Honda Accord. Like it streamlines Michael Phelps when he's swimming the 400-meter butterfly because the guy's the best swimmer in the world.
I honestly believe it's for, I think it's for your hair.
Like, but yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm splashing around and I'm so exhausted 10 minutes into it that my form is horrible and I'm just trying to live.
But the key word is exhaustion, and this guy's trying to help you live by keeping your hair back. You're going to have less water in your mouth.
That's what. Yeah, I didn't even realize that it would do that. I'll try it.
Try it in private. Nobody's asking you to do this for the show. Try it in private and see
You
how
look
it
so
goes.
stupid wearing
You do
a
look
swim
stupid
cap.
in swim
though.
caps.
Yeah.
They don't make any cool ones.
Nope.
Diamond plate. Denim.
That's worse.
How about denim? How about a denim swim
That's
cap?
worse. It's just the tightness of it. Stupid. If I can get a swim cap and then have my hair on the top. Anyway.
What about a photo? What about if it's like, what if we print it? What if we printed? Remember when people were doing that with masks? When they were printing their faces on masks and wearing them? By the way, I hated all of you when you did that. If I saw you out and you did that, even my friends would be like, look what I got, how funny I am. I'd be like, I secretly hate you. I hate you so much. You could do that.
Listen, I'm going to have to do something because yesterday my legs were so sore from us riding the bike. Because yesterday
You did
I ran
great riding,
3
by
miles.
the way. Andrea asked you, because Andrea's a good cyclist, and Andrea goes, how'd he do? I go, he's got the bike done. He's on lock. You were cruising. You could go faster. You were just kind of taking it easy. Your bike's great. You could, dude, you're good.
No, I was blood-eyeing at the end because of the wind in her
you
face.
were not. You didn't look like it.
Well, yeah, because I'm hiding it from you. I can't show my weakness to you or anybody. So I was miserable, blood-eyeing, and my legs were on fire. And then the roots.
When we were coming back in the wind, it was bad.
Yeah, and the roots were hammering my taint.
Yeah, the roots are
and
bad.
then I was miserable, like, oh, God. But I was like, I can't let Daniel see that I'm miserable. And I couldn't feel my hands. I couldn't even change
Now
gears
that I saw,
anymore.
that I saw because you at one point you were shaking your hands out, and your hands they were straight out like you didn't have fingers. They were like you had like penguin wings.
Yeah, they 10 minutes in,
And they were blue. They were
get
purple
numb.
blue. Your hands. You'll be fine. You got the
Anyway,
bike thing.
so but after that, then I ran yesterday, and when I started running, it was like my legs didn't have any power or muscle in them. Like, I was running on wobbly, like Gumby legs.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I couldn't even. I'm like, just like
Power
do
through
it.
it.
I
Yeah.
powered through, and then it was like
Did you do it?
2.5 miles of Gumby legs, and now I did it. I mean, whatever, but it took
2.5 miles of Gumby legs.
But it took me way longer than if I just run on fresh legs. And then I realized, like, man,
you got to use your one wheel.
well, that's what the conditioning is about, I guess.
Yeah.
But doing them back to back, like, it's rough.
Different exercises back to back is terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible.
I think we got room for one more here. Here we go. Let's try this one right here. This one made me laugh.
Hey, Tom and Dan, I'm currently walking into a Winn-Dixie, and yes, I have my shoes on, but I also heard the most surprising thing ever walking into a Winn-Dixie. One of their patrons just said, "Yeah, my CPA told me about that." And I'm like, these guys know about CPAs? Okay.
Listen,
Anti-Winn-Dixie, I feel like.
sir.
I love Winn-Dixie.
This gentleman obviously doesn't know anything about trash people, but I do because I am one of them.
I am one of them as well.
As a trash person, we like to have open conversations about fancy things so people think we're fancy around us.
It's like the old ATM receipts that have the balance is like $2.6 million.
You carry that in your pocket, so
yeah.
and then you accidentally drop it.
In
so.
front of a hot girl.
And then so when you're having the conversation at Winn-Dixie, you drop in like, oh, my CPA or travel agent.
Yeah.
You say CPA, travel agent.
Okay, I have to admit something to you. I have to admit something to you.
Yeah.
This has never been.
Is that therapist?
This has never been admitted. That's a good one. That's popular now because people want to know.
Only
that,
rich, successful people.
But
have
people
therapists.
like to hear that you're working on yourself. If you're like, I get a therapy today, people are like, that
guy's cool because he's crazy.
Oh yeah. You say trainer. Sorry, that's
Yeah,
another
trainer
one.
is a good one.
CPA.
okay, I've never said this one before. I've never said this before. I would do that. I was extremely guilty of that for a split second of time in my life when we had negotiated our contracts for radio and we did have an agent.
Oh, yeah.
And I would tell people, I'd be like, oh, just got a phone call from my agent.
Yeah.
And I thought it would move the needle, and it did move the needle, and it was awesome being able to say it.
Yeah, because you are a trash person.
Yeah, I am.
And if you had any contact with the agent, you got to say it out loud 5 or 10 times.
CPA, agent, it's all the same.
Yeah. When honestly, a CPA is H&R Block technically. And that person is part-time,
They're just pushing buttons.
Yeah, that's a part-time stay-at-home mom that works as a CPA in tax season, and you pay, $110 for them to do your taxes. But technically, that's a CPA.
Yeah,
and that's the same CPA as like Donald Trump's CPA. Like the same thing with the coach. Like Bill Belichick is coach. Also, like your elementary school PE.
Yeah, he's a coach.
He's a coach too, so you coach.
Yeah,
and like,
I agree with that.
The same name.
I love Winn-Dixie. I love Bravo. I love Walmart. I love, what is it called? Sedano's. I love Sedano. I'm just anti-Publix right now.
Why? We have friends at Publix.
I know. I love my friends at Publix.
Shopping's a pleasure.
It's not about them. It's about the corporation. It's not the same. I like going to. I only shop at Spanish grocery stores now. Seriously, my whole family. I've got Maisie on it now because of the way she eats and all the dancing.
Yeah. I know you like the meats.
I go through the hotline. I'm like, what do you want? We got pulled pork. We got chicken thighs. We got yellow rice. We got every lentil in the world.
Yeah.
All of it.
Good meat and fabuloso.
That's all you need. Couple Topo Chicos.
I like my cleaning chemicals purple.
I do. I saw a guy returning that yesterday in Publix. He had a jug of purple cleaner, and he was returning.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you get a bad batch of Fabuloso. It's like this.
It doesn't have the Oso in it.
This Fabuloso has turned. All right, bye-bye.
That's funny. All right, and that is the end of that.
Yeah, so that's Thursday, 1 and 2.
And then we're going to...
And that's it. We're going to go to lunch, and then after lunch, we'll record the middle AMT for the future, and then a small ACT.
Yeah, I like Kroger too, guys. Kroger is good. Have a great lunch, y'all. We'll be back a little bit later.